Okay, hi everybody. Are you being attacked by negative SEO? I've been seeing more and more of this lately. So in this really short video, I'm going to walk you through all the things you need to do. I'm going to do a screen share so you can figure out whether or not you're being attacked by negative SEO and what you can do about it. I've been doing search engine optimization for a couple decades now, helped tons of websites deal with negative SEO, get rid of penalties. So in this short actionable video, you'll be able to figure out what you need to do. Let's go ahead and take a look and I'll share my screen. So first thing is Google Alerts are something that you might want to set up. If you're not familiar with Google Alerts, you can put in your brand name. What that's going to do is that's going to send you emails whenever anybody mentions your brand name. One of the things I've really noticed with negative SEO is that anytime there's a negative SEO attack happening, there's a lot more brand mentions. So you can use a brand mentions tool. SEMrush offers this. Or you can set up a Google Alert. A Google Alert, if you start seeing kind of like a flood of mentions of your brand coming in every single day, and they look like really weird sites, that is a sign for sure that something odd's going on. Now, be really careful if you click on those links, because very, very often the links coming in will have malware on them too. And anytime you've got a negative SEO attack, a lot of times what they do is they set up a script that hacks a bunch of websites, injects links into those websites, and then those links point back to your website, to your top pages, and then take your top pages down. And if you go to those websites, a lot of times those sites are actually hacked. So you got to be really careful with what you click on. Make sure you're always clearing your cookies and things like that. So what you saw here, you just saw an article that I wrote on Google Alert spam, and I went over a lot of the things that we talked about. And Google says, "Oh no, it really shouldn't have an impact on your site." I strongly disagree. I've seen it have an impact on sites before. So set up that Google Alert or set up brand mentions in a tool like SEMrush or something else. Now, one of the things you can do is you can go inside a Google Search Console. If you haven't set up Google Search Console, make sure you set it up. You go to the links area, and inside of the links area, you want to look at the links, but not just the links overall. You want to look at the home page, but you also want to look at your top pages. Your most important pages are what a negative SEO spammer is going to be looking to attack, right? If you've got that one really big service page, a lot of times what I've seen these people do is they look at really competitive categories. They look at the people who are ranking 3 or 4. They run a negative SEO attack and put bad links like some of the ones you're seeing here, pointing at these pages, and their client might be number 4, 5, 6, might be number 10, might be on page 2, who knows. And they are just trying to really hurt the credibility of all of those top ranked pages so that they can rank higher and higher. So you're going to be looking out for bad links like this that are just from websites that are just completely nasty sites. And there might be hundreds of those coming in a week, up to, hundreds a month, 1,000 a month. And you're going to really notice just a very odd trend of bad links coming in. Again, really careful if you click on these, because a lot of times these are hacked and it can lead to bad stuff. Now, I will say in some cases also what I've seen is there might be a good site. So a site that maybe looks like one of these that looks a little bit more normal. But in those cases, what they're doing is putting in exact anchor text. So if you're trying to rank really high for best bicycles, for example, they might go get a whole bunch of links on a whole bunch of sites where they're buying links, and then point that exact anchor text at your site over and over again. They get global links, so as many links as possible on those other sites until your site eventually gets triggered and they take it down. That's why it's really important that you're always clicking on this little thing right here, which is the messages area of Google Search Console. They'll let you know if you have a manual action or not. What people don't realize is that link manual actions are still happening quite a bit, especially when people ignored negative SEO attacks. So people will come in, they'll hack these sites, they'll buy bad links, point the bad links at your site. Eventually, you don't even realize it, but you actually have a manual action on your website where Google is holding your site down. They think you've been the one who's doing this stuff, and they don't realize that it's been negative SEO. I've seen that happen sometimes recently, so it's 100% possible. Also, when you go into SEMrush, they've got a couple of cool tools like this, and there's other tools as well. But this will tell you the percentage of your links that are toxic or that are bad. You really want to keep an eye on this and do your best to find all of those bad ones that they're flagging as toxic. It can be a little bit easier in some cases to look at things this way than in Search Console. And then you want to go through them each manually. Are these people that you know? Is this actually a good link? Is it a bad link? You want to disavow all those bad ones. And you can't actually map some of the things that you've disavowed directly from Google Search Console in the disavow file back to SEMrush right here. So they take this into account. See how you can connect the two right here. So the disavow tool, if you don't know, is a way to tell Google, I don't want to have these links associated with my site. Somebody else is pointing on unnatural links to the site. They're pointing paid links at the site. I don't have any control over this. I don't want you to count these against my website. So essentially what you do is you can just disavow one individual HTML page like this. So all the links on an HTML page like this, or you can block an entire domain and all the links from a domain like this. And this is really good to do if it's a problem on just the overall site's bad. You can tell that, you don't want a link from any page on that site. This is generally the best one to use, especially if you're getting global links. Once you've done that, and you can also comment things out with using a hashtag so you can keep notes for yourself. But once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and upload that to the disavow links tool page. And on that page, it's going to tell you how many things have been blocked, and it's going to be in a .txt format, and that's going to allow you to continually block those links. If you're in a really competitive situation, it might be a good idea to block those links on a bi-weekly or a monthly basis. There's a lot of search engine optimization people out there who don't believe that that's something that they should use. They generally say that until it gets triggered. And I do agree that initially, if it just looks like a small influx and it's not causing a big deal, you want to keep an eye on it and not disavow right away. But if it starts to become a trend, then it's definitely worth using that tool. So that's one of the ways to look at negative SEO and catch negative SEO. Keep in mind, that's a specific type of negative SEO. So that's negative SEO from link spam. Just keep an eye on those links coming in. Make sure that you're blocking them. Make sure that, you're keeping an eye on that. There's a lot of other types of negative SEO out there, but that's just one. If you like this video, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.